This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching VonAllen Sports, real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. VonAllen Sports, let's go!
VonAllen Sports. VonAllen Sports.
This is the man with the most badass name in sports, the Pharaoh, the Egyptian god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on behalf of my man VonAllen, we want to thank you for your support. Let's fucking go.
VonAllen Sports.
Well. It's been a while. How you guys doing, huh? I was like, it's coming on. There it goes. Okay, here we go. Nice to see you guys again. You know, I have my old chair back, my chair. So it sucks. It's terrible. What happened is that Milena decided to steal it, my good chair. She took it. She made up this, bullcrap excuse like my back or something. You know how women do? They make up excuses. They say, "Oh, my back's hurting. I need your chair because my back hurts and all this stuff." And from that other chair. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm back into the squeaky chair. I don't even know if you can hear that, but oh yeah. I guess it has its uses, but not for this. But hey, it's better than the Stalin special. You guys remember that chair I used to sit in when I was broadcasting from Bulgaria? It's like a wooden chair. It's like from the Cold War or something. So yeah, but whoa, here we are. So let's see. We got 28 with us right now. Can we got it at 12 likes. Can we get up higher? And just for you guys, I waited till we go live to open this baby up. So wow. So it's been a while. So I would have gotten started at the beginning of this season, but right before the season started, I had a surgery. Nothing life-threatening or anything. It's a cosmetic. Had some implants put in. So they were. It's very, very invasive. It's very serious. Recovery time and stuff. So I had my face was funny looking and everything. Had trouble talking, or you couldn't understand me. I kind of had like a weird lisp or something. It was very, very weird. But it just wasn't there to be broadcasting. Yeah, I just wasn't ready, and all that. So, but here we are. We're back, and I'll tell you what. I'm bringing on a guest with me tonight, and she's a massive Steelers fan. She's won't be on for very long. We're just going to chat for a little bit, but she's going to the Steelers Packers game this weekend. So of course, Aaron playing his old team. So we're going to talk about that a bit. Funnily enough, she actually works at the dental place where I had my surgery. So we got to talking, and I said, hey, you need to come on the show. The guys will like you. They'd love to hear from a fan of an opposing team and a team that, was a rival for so many years. So yeah, we'll be talking to her probably in about 15 minutes or so, and that. So I have no set time for all of us to go, but I have a lot to talk about. We probably want to talk about some other things, not just what's going on in the NFL right now, but what's been going on in the past. We didn't even get to talk about the Super Bowl. I don't remember talking about the Super Bowl other than a brief comment during halftime. I think that's the last time I did something there. So, yeah, the Jets. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get on that. Oh my God. We'll get on that. So who we got here first? We got Elf of Courage. What's up, man? So he's got the number one commenter always. And Sierra Chubbs, Austin Thomas, John Thomas Chavez. I love you guys. All you guys are back. Phil Williamson. This is awesome. Zigzag. Israel, what's up? I talk to Israel all the time. Gord King is now Papa Pumpkin. I'm not quite sure why he changed it, but I think YouTube kind of screwed him over, kind of like what they did with me. But Papa Pumpkin is Gord King. You guys all know Daniel, so make sure to subscribe to his channel if you're not there already. Brian Magnum. I always have to say, Brian, if I was a porn star, your name would be mine, Brian Magnum. Okay? So, let's see. Blind Assassin, what's up? The Minuteman, what's up? Love to see you guys. Gord King says, correct, had to restart my channel and is starting to do quite well. Awesome. That is phenomenal. So he does good do good reviews of movies and TV shows and other things too, not just that. I've seen him talk about some other subjects as well. Really good. Sometimes me and him don't agree on certain things, which is great because movies and TV shows is kind of like a very personal thing. I mean, you wouldn't believe the kind of stuff I like and the kind of stuff I don't like. Like you'd be surprised by that. You'd be like, what? Okay, so whatever. But it's cool. I need to go on his show, by the way. I was supposed to, but my mom was really sick. I don't know if you guys know, but my mom passed away. So since we last saw each other, if you guys remember last year, I was going back and forth to Arkansas quite a bit. But yeah, so with my mom, you probably remember her. I called her Moogie. Her nickname for her was Moogie. I said she was the Oracle. I used to call her when I used to bet on games. I would call her and I would give her the teams, and then she would be like, she'd ask me questions. She'd be like, where are they playing? I'm like, well, it's Kansas City versus the Browns, let's say. Where are they playing? Cleveland. Now, this example has nothing to do with the Chiefs now. This would have been years ago. But she said, okay, Cleveland Browns, okay. And then what's the weather like? And then she'd ask me all these questions, although she didn't know the players. She didn't know the players. She didn't know. She was asking me like strange questions that seemed to not be relevant to someone if you don't know who the coaches are, you don't know who the players are. But man, she would be right. And I shared a lot of money with her over the years. When I won, I would send her, she always tell me not to do that, but I couldn't help it. So, but yeah, that's a good memory I have of her with football. And my goal last year was to get her on the show, but she was just too sick. So it just couldn't happen. She wanted to, though. She wanted to say hi to you guys. Still got to get my dad on here. It's funny. My dad, he loves the Patriots, and he's a Patriots fan because he loves the Boston area. He loves the Revolutionary War. He loves New England. He absolutely loves New England. When I was a kid, he used to be like, "I'm going to move to New England. We're going to move to New England. We're going to go live in Vermont or New Hampshire somewhere." Or we're going to get a house on the ocean, kind of like the Ghost and Mrs. Muir or Dark Shadows. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been pretty pretty serious year. The last year and a half, I'd say. Both of Melena's parents died, and then my mom. So it's a lot, but it's how. Unfortunately, it's how it works. When you get older and as you age, you start to lose more people than you gain, and that's the truth. But anyway, it's all good. Everything's okay. So we're back, and let's get talking. I just wanted to say that in case you guys wondering who the woman in the bottom corner was talking. That's my mom. So, it looks like April has joined us now. So you know what? We're going to do that right now and talk about that. Talk about the Steelers game, and then we will get back to you. So let me get her on here real quick. This might be a little sloppy. Sorry, guys. Okay, April. Okay. I don't hear you. Do you have your microphone?
There. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. There we
Okay,
go.
there we go. Yeah, it said it was on and then it wasn't. Sorry.
So how are you
Oh,
doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Are you ready?
Yeah, just sorry if
Well, it
I
looks
cough.
like it.
Yeah, I know. Sorry if I cough a lot. This is so dumb. I can't believe. I
What
cannot
happened?
believe that I
Oh,
got sick. But I'm good. It's all good.
it's,
But if I cough a lot, I apologize.
no one cares. No one cares.
Okay. Okay, cool.
We
Then
just
yeah, I'm
we just
ready.
we want to talk about the Steelers. That's all. So
Yes. I
come
got
on,
my
guys.
Steelers sweater on. I am
That's
ready.
awesome. I see that. Yeah, the black and gold.
Yeah. Black and
We got
gold
30.
has the
We got
Steelers
30
emblem
people
back.
watching live on YouTube. Only 17 likes. Come on, guys. Click the button. Click the button.
Okay.
You're not gonna get your carpal tunnel or anything by clicking the like. Okay, and we have people
Do
watching from
it.
Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, all the platforms. A lot of
Awesome.
people actually watch this afterwards. They don't watch it live, but
Okay, cool.
so you're a big Steelers fan. How long you been a Steelers fan?
Obviously. 20 years? 21? The year that Ben came in the league is when I became a Steelers fan.
So
Yeah.
you watched our team beat the 15-1 Steelers.
I did. It
That
was sad,
yeah
but it wasn't because, the whole thing was new to me. So I was just excited to be there. You know, like, I was, because even though I grew up liking football or whatever, I grew up in Eagles country and I was never an Eagles fan. So I didn't really like have an affiliation. So when I like watched Ben play the first time, I was like, I'm sold on this and everything. So I was just excited to have a team to root for. So even though they
yeah.
lost, I was okay. But yeah, that's my
Well,
thing.
that was the Steelers was a strange team to me back then because they were always good and always annoying. And I mean annoying in the sense that we always had trouble with them because they were good even with Cordell Stewart, and
Yeah.
we saw them. We saw them in the playoffs. Before that, we saw
Hmm.
them in 2001. That was our first year, and to win the Super Bowl. That's when I guess you could say the dynasty started. But
Right, right.
and then they just get a rookie, and we're like, okay, why? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Couldn't pronounce his name. And then they
Sure.
go 15-1. They they
I
they
know.
stopped our. We had a streak going over 2 seasons where we
Yeah.
hadn't been beaten, and you
Yeah.
guys were the ones to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
that
not
that's
sorry. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
but that was a pretty incredible run, for the Steelers. Like I mean, who would think a rookie would come in there, go 15 and 1 and be amazing like that? I mean, he wasn't even supposed to play.
yeah,
If Tommy Maddox didn't go down, it would have never happened. But isn't that how it happens a lot with the greats? I mean,
every
look
time.
at Brady. Look at
Yep.
Brady. I mean,
It,
that's they
it's
take
actually
advantage of their shot.
yeah, exactly. It's actually rare for a guy to be drafted in the first round and then put out there in week one and then become great. Like
Yeah.
it's usually almost always a disaster. you know.
Right, right, right.
And like even Peyton Manning, it looked like that was going to be bad because he set the record for most interceptions in the season
Sure.
for a rookie or something like that. So
Yeah.
it can go really weird. But yeah, so we
Yeah.
got Aaron Rodgers playing his
Yep.
former team.
Yeah.
So let's look at the implications of this, but also, well, because I still think he's bitter towards Green Bay, honestly. But
But I read today he said it's not a revenge game. I don't know if I believe that or not, but
no,
that's what he
no,
said.
he's trying to be classy because those Green Bay fans love him.
Sure.
Um, Brady played the same game when Tampa
Yeah.
Bay went to New England. When they
Yeah.
played, he played the same game. But we know the truth. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, especially like they're competitive guys, they want to prove like there's always something to prove, even Brady, who's proven everything, still always has something to prove, with things. Not
yeah,
anymore, obviously. Well, I think he still kind of does even like in the announcing realm, but that's a whole nother deal. It's just always the next thing. But yeah, I think you're right. Aaron probably wants to go in there and really kick their ass.
Tom does have a lot to prove in the announcement booth. I don't think he's very
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
right now. I think that he's trying too hard to sound like an announcer
Yeah.
instead of just being himself and telling us. I want to hear his personal view of what that quarterback's doing. I don't care about, oh, he if they win today, it's going to be a big deal. I
I
don't need
know.
that. I want to hear what you think about what he's doing wrong right now.
Right,
You know,
right. And that's
so
probably why they hired him in the first place.
yeah,
I think he just has to get confident in that area, and then he'll kill it just like he does everything. But
yeah.
yeah. But we'll see about Sunday how that goes. I hope our defense shows up to help Aaron because our offense is playing great right now, but the
No,
defense, we got to put out an APB for them because they were not present last week
they were
whatsoever.
garbage last week.
I know, and they were garbage when they lost in the second, their first home game. They were garbage. I don't know. I
Yeah,
re-
and
yeah,
that's Tomlin's thing too. So I mean, when you've got when you've got a defensive coach and you've got a Hall of Fame quarterback, it should be split, right? So you've
yeah,
got the quarterback who should be able to handle the offense, do his job, and then the head coach who's a defensive guy should have that locked down.
right,
But it's not the end of the world, okay? They've got a great record, in my
yeah,
opinion, for getting started, okay?
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers with a new team. Uh, I may make a lot of Brady references. It's only because they're relevant.
Of
But
course.
when he went to Tampa Bay, it started off much worse.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so it was bad. They got blown out, embarrassed by the Saints, and then they were kind of clunking along. And it wasn't until the bye week is when they came out and became looking like that team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
You guys are already ahead of that. You guys are
true.
already looking good. It's just some things need to get tightened up. So
Yeah. I mean, if they can look the way they did in Ireland on every game, that would be great. Because they did excellent. It was pretty evenly killed in Ireland, I think.
yeah,
But they're also coming into harder games now. They played a lot of relatively easy teams, except for well, I mean the Vikings, but it was Vikings with Carson Wentz. I don't know.
yeah,
Um,
but that's perfect, right? Though that's perfect
yeah,
because you play the quote unquote easier teams. Although I have an issue with that, but as far as calling any NFL team easy,
sure. But you know what I
but
mean?
I get your
Like,
point. Yeah. I
yeah,
totally get your point. But that's better because Aaron is new to the team, so
yeah,
there's growing pains along that timeline. So when you start getting better is when you probably want to hit the better teams or the harder teams or
yeah,
whatever. So I
yeah.
actually
No,
think
that makes sense.
it's going according to. I think it's going well. Honestly, I
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. That makes a lot of sense. Kind of like get your practice in before it really counts, kind of thing. Something like that, I guess.
don't they do that in college? They call them tune-up games where
Yeah.
they throw some crappy college that nobody's ever heard of at you in week one, so you can get some confidence
Yeah.
going. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know if they do that anymore, but I'm old, so I just
Yeah. Well, me
I
too.
I'm older than
But we'll
you.
see. No, you're not. I'm older than you.
We had this discussion, didn't
I'm
we?
50. I'm 50.
That's right. Oh yeah, yeah. I thought I was older. Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But close enough, you know.
Oh,
Um,
how's Dr. Aaron Rodgers doing?
Dr. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the guy called Aaron Rodgers
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
at your work.
Oh, that guy.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
say he
wait,
looks
where are
like
we going with this?
he looks like Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's good. He's good. He's more than
it's
good.
funny.
Yeah, I forgot what you're talking about. I'm like, what? So no, no, no. Yeah, he's
It's
good.
it's it's been a while since I've been there, but
Yeah.
gr- I don't know. Okay, so Aaron, he hasn't taken very many sacks, and
No,
I
I
don't think
know,
he's
which
taken
is
any at home.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, it's amazing how like because our O line has always been an issue for like a long time. Even when Ben was there was an O line problem.
Yeah,
So the
I
fact
remember.
that they're keeping him from getting sacked is pretty incredible actually, and especially because I'll tell you what, like I thought, he's old, like I mean relatively speaking in the football world he's old,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, he's not going to be able to move, he's not going to be able to do this. When I watched the other night and he like ran, I'm like, look at that, what is that, so he's
Hmm.
really doing great things, and so's the O-line. So that's exciting. He has time to throw. He I mean, the offense is starting to really click, which and it's funny, and I'll admit that I was wrong, but I was so unhappy with them signing him. Like I was so unhappy when the talks first started. I was like, "Oh no, this better not happen. Oh no." And I mean, I knew it was going to. And I'm like, "Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes." But I wasn't sold on it because you know
Really?
what? I really wasn't, because I don't know, he's a little weird. And I've heard I mean, you hear he's a diva, and then you hear like his team doesn't like him, and then I was like, I know he's Hall of Famer, and I know that's great, and I know he was amazing for Green Bay, but you're talking about somebody who's coming in after the horrendousness with the Jets, all the drama with that, and again, he's a little weird. So I'm like, I don't know
He
how it's
he's
gonna
always been
go.
kind of an odd one.
Yeah, which is fine. People, you do you kind of thing. But so I just wasn't sure how it was all gonna go. But like he looks happy, and because he's happy, it's helping the team be happy, and
Yep.
he's having fun, which he definitely wasn't having fun in New York. Like let's keep it real. But does
Who would?
anybody really have fun with the Jets? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but so I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy to eat my words on that.
Well,
So
at least you're honest, okay? And
yeah,
that's the thing. You got to be honest with yourself, because I always you have no idea how many Patriots fans will tell you right now, okay? If you talk
yeah.
to them, they'll be like, "Oh, I knew Tom Brady was Tom Brady. I knew when we drafted him that he was going to be this great." No, you
In the
didn't.
sixth round,
Okay? Bullshit. Okay? So
100%. Yeah.
I was angry when I found out that Tom Brady was starting the Super Bowl. I was pissed off. I wanted Drew Bledsoe to get his job back.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, why are you letting this guy? I mean, he played pretty good. He played okay, but it's Drew Bledsoe. I mean, what are you
yeah,
talking about? So
yeah,
I'm honest with that. I'm not one of these people that are like, oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I knew all along. So I get it.
yeah.
I get your you know, you kind of like
Hesitation.
iffy about it. But
Yeah,
it was New York Jets. But look at it this way: you had Brett Favre,
yeah,
who got replaced by Aaron. Brett Favre
yeah.
goes to the Jets, gets injured, just like Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
then moves to his new team, and then faces his old team and beats them.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron is doing that exact sequence. So he's got to
Yes.
win.
Yeah.
He's got to win.
Yeah. Well, he's got to win, especially because I'm going to be there. So he has to win. I mean, I don't want to take a 5-hour cross country flight to sit in the freezing cold to watch my team lose. That's just not.
Well,
It's not a thing.
Jordan Love didn't look that good against the Cardinals last week. I know they
Yeah,
won,
no, the Cardinals
but he
almost won,
wasn't.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't that impressive. I think the Steelers can at least. I'll put it this way. I think Aaron Rodgers can outscore the Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if it has to be a shootout, so be it. I think they can win that. I really do. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We have two super chats. I'm going to read these real quick.
Okay.
So we have a $10 super chat from Addie Visorno, who, by the way, just got married. Congratulations, Addie. I'm really happy for you.
Congrats.
He says, give me a dog. Check. Let's go. Vaughn is back. Very excited. He's a huge Browns fan. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
true. Divisional rival.
Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call them a rival.
No. No.
Not the
They're
80s anymore. So,
right.
and Addie sends another $5 super chat and says, I can't stay for long, but it's good to see y'all are doing well. Welcome back. He actually
Oh,
paid to tell me he can't. How polite is he?
that's so
Like
nice.
he's such a good dude.
That's
But
awesome.
thank you, Addie. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. And again, congratulations. And by the way, Addie, just want to tell you the Browns were stupid to get rid of Joe Flacco. I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but it wouldn't be Browns if they didn't do that. So
All they were doing, I think, is sabotaging the Steelers for fun.
it looks like it, right? It looks like,
Yeah.
hey, we will
Yeah.
give them Joe Flacco right before they play. I swear to God, it looks like that.
Yeah,
That
well,
was the
that's
case
what
because you,
Tomlin was saying. Wasn't that
yeah,
what Tomlin was
exactly.
saying? Yeah.
Hmm.
He's like, yeah, they're sabotaging. I don't know, whatever. That's the Browns. The Browns will be the Browns, right? Just like the Jets are going to be the Jets.
Um, Papa Pumpkin says Pittsburgh's O line should just be called the Curtain.
Okay.
He's making fun of them, apparently.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah,
Which, okay, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see where the curtain comes down on Sunday.
yeah. I don't think the Steelers offense is going to have too much trouble. I mean, of course,
Um,
you've got Micah Parsons to have to keep an eye out on him,
yeah, I know.
but I think it'll be okay.
I think it'll be okay too. I really do. I mean, the O-line's performing better than it has in years. So
You
I'm
have a
not scared.
question. You have a question from Jared. He says, "Any trades
Okay.
you'd like to see happen?"
Okay, so I get super attached to my team and I get so sad when any of them get traded. Like it hurts my soul.
Hmm.
Um, I know they're talking about trading Firemouth. That would like just devastate me because I love him and he's so good. And I'm glad he balled out the other day because that was kind of like a statement, like, no, don't let me go, you know?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we do need a wide receiver for sure. Because once we got rid of Pickens, which in the grand scheme of things, I'm happy Pickens is gone because it was not a good locker room situation with him. As much talent as that guy has,
yeah,
he was like a cancer. Now, I'm happy he's doing good in Dallas for now. We'll see once now CD Lamb's back in the deal, or we'll see how
yeah.
many throws he gets. But, no matter what, I don't think Pickens would have ever performed for us anyway anymore. I think that relationship on both sides was like done. So we need another wide receiver. Now, I think Catman's coming back this week. I think the injury report said he's going to be playing again. But even so, we need a deeper lineup of wide receivers. So I don't know who to trade for one, but I would love to see another wide receiver. I just don't know who. I mean, who I'd want we isn't even up for grabs, so it doesn't even matter.
Let's just trade T.J. Watt for a bunch of draft picks.
No, people keep saying that. No, 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 no,
That would be
no.
the utterly most retarded thing ever done in the history of football.
Stupid. It would be the
Um,
stupidest thing. But I see it all the
yeah.
time. Everybody saying that. So dumb.
Listen, one thing I know about Steelers fans is they're never happy.
Well, that's true for any football team. Come
No,
on.
no, no, no. They're much worse. I've seen them on the I've heard the radio shows before and stuff, and they're always coming up with
Yeah.
these weird schemes and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about though. But
Yeah.
Jared says Jonnu Smith looks good for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That was one I was my husband was telling me, he's like, it's a great trade, and I know. But it's like when you get attached to players, when Minka got traded and I was like, why? But now I know why. It's very
yeah.
obvious, but the attachment is real.
Austin Thomas says George Pushoff Pickens. Um, again, Austin says honestly they should trade for Chris Godwin.
Mm. But then trade who?
Yeah, yeah. Who are you going to give up? I guess you'd.
That's
The
the
best
question.
scenario would be to give up maybe some picks or a pick or something.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm willing to. Oh, I've always been willing to trade a draft pick for an established player. I want to
absolutely.
win now.
Now,
This whole the future is something I can't touch or feel.
right.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't
And you
exist. I
never
don't
know if they're
know.
going to pan out anyway, right? Like
Hmm.
how many people that go in the first round are busts?
Yeah.
So you just never know, but you're right. Like get the established player now so you can win now, or at least as
Right.
close to now as possible. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, look, the Indianapolis Colts, they sent away Peyton Manning for Andrew
Hmm.
Luck, and Andrew Luck was considered the most sure thing since John
Yeah.
Elway, like the most
Yeah.
polished, perfect player ever since John Elway.
Yeah.
You couldn't miss,
Yeah.
and he was pretty good, but he never got them back to the promised land. But
No.
what
And then
did
he
Peyton do?
retired so early.
Exactly. Peyton goes
Yeah.
off to Denver, has the best statistical season as far as yards
Yeah.
and touchdowns and stuff for any quarterback ever, and then wins the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, sorry, I would have kept Peyton in Indianapolis, and I would have traded that first pick for a million things. I would have like completely
Mhm.
robbed the team of all their best players, and I would have put them
Yeah.
around Peyton and Indy. I never would have done that. I don't tell me future. Now that was a sure prospect, a sure thing that
Sure thing.
and he still failed. He still failed.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yep. Yep.
So
I agree. I agree. So we'll see. We'll see
so
what they come up with because the trade deadline's coming up really soon. So
yeah.
we'll see what they choose to do.
Well, I know you got a trip to get ready for.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I will let you go. But
Okay.
thank you for coming on.
Well,
And
well, thank you for having me.
yeah,
I really had
you
this was fun. I appreciate it.
you should. You're welcome. Thank you. You should come back for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I don't know if you
Cool.
see in your name under there, but it says not related to Antonio that she knows of. That she knows of.
That I know of. I know
That
we
you
look
know of.
alike. Yeah.
Yeah. Similar. It's the teeth.
That- yeah, that must be it. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's not the hair. It's not, so,
Definitely not. No, it's the
all
eyes. The
right.
eyes. It's in the eyes.
Yeah. All right, April. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Oh, thank
And I'll
you. All
see you soon.
right. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye. All right. That was fun. Uh, yeah, I wanted to get her on here and talk about that before she got to go to the big game. All right. We have Alpha Courage says we have two Generation Xers on the show tonight. Yep, that's true. Well, and yeah, you're 48. I'm sorry, I missed that before I let her go. Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, she has a lot to do tonight and get ready for that trip. So I didn't want to hold her forever. You guys know how I can talk, and lose track of time. So I wanted to make sure we got her out in time there. So thank you, Jared. I appreciate it, man. Addy Visano says, "What's a playoff?" Actually, Papa Pumpkin says, "Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game." Israel, Israel, doom and gloom here. You can book the Chiefs to the eighth straight AFC title game, sadly, for the playoffs. Well, of course you can, but it's not their doing. Okay, that was a cheap shot, but it's still funny. By the way, guys, if you want to send a super chat, you can send it to Rumble. You have to just click that Rumble link at the top of the chat there, and I'll see it. It'll pop up right here. So if you would like to do that. Papa Pumpkin says the NFL has booked them. Huh. What do you guys think? You think they're really going to return back to the Super Bowl again? Eight would tie the Patriots? You talking 8 AFC championships? Is that AFC championship games? Appearances or AFC championship wins? Because the Patriots have 9. They have 9 AFC championships with Brady and Belichick, but they had 2 outside of that. So they have 11 total. Because they have the 85 Bears, and they have the one against the 85 Bears, and then they have the loss against the Packers in '96. So Israel says yes, an 8. Oh, an 8 straight appearance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because let's see, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. My God, we were dominant. That's ridiculous. Austin's right. Rob Parker started something in 2011 when he said, Tom Brady's done. No way, no how. Tom Brady won more Super Bowls after that statement than he did before. Addie says, oh, is that what football is called in January and February? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so funnily enough, Addie, we are playing this. Of course, Addie knows this, but we're playing the Browns this weekend. So apparently they're all excited because Myles Garrett actually got to the quarterback last week. Okay. I know I've said this before, but I would love for the Browns to be good. Okay. If you guys remember, I used to say I wish the Lions would be good. So I always said I want the Lions to be good in the NFC, and I want the Browns to be good from the AFC. That would be good for football. Well, the Lions are good now. So what the hell, Cleveland? What are you doing? You know, I just can't believe a team like the Lions and Browns have been around so long. They're so ancient, and they've never played in the Super Bowl. It's it just doesn't seem possible, does it? It's just weird. I mean, it's understandable that the Jaguars have never played in the Super Bowl. You know, they haven't. Or the Texans. They haven't been around near as long. They haven't had as many chances. But are they the only 4 left? I think. Let's see. I'm thinking. Yeah, I think those 4 are the only ones left that haven't played in a Super Bowl. Yeah, only 4. Jaeger Thorn, what's up, man? Have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Sorry, I'm late. Browns were good for a minute, but then dumped Baker and traded for Deshaun. Yeah, well, they had their moment in the 80s, too. They had their chances, but John Elway had other plans, and then he proceeded to go on and get himself embarrassed anyway. So probably would have had a better game had the Browns won. It reminds me of 2013, where the Broncos defeat us in the AFC Championship game, and then they go on to get embarrassed by the Seahawks. And because we know what happened the next year with the Patriots versus Seahawks, we probably would not have gotten blown out. I can't imagine Tom Brady Patriots team getting blown out in the Super Bowl. So it's one of those things where it's like, damn, or like when the Patriots beat the Dolphins to go on to the Super Bowl and get blown out by the Bears. Come on, man. I mean, the Dolphins were the only team to beat that Bears team that year. The only team. The only loss the Bears took was against the Dolphins. That was the Super Bowl that we needed to see. Okay? If Dan was going to get his ring, that would have been done in such an epic fashion. So I hate when there's this AFC championship where they kind of ruin it and then we don't get the Super Bowl that we want. But there you go. But yeah, the Browns had their day in the sun. But they keep making stupid decisions, It's I'm not saying Joe Flacco is Brady or Rodgers or Peyton, at the kind of the tail end of their career. But he can play. He can play. He can still read defenses. He knows. He's been around a long time. These veterans, the good veterans, people underestimate them. You sent Joe Flacco to a Bengals team with some outstanding receivers. What? In your own division, dude. Just to stick it to the Steelers for, so? It doesn't matter if you stick it to the Steelers or not because you're not winning games. It would make sense if you had some kind of replacement and then you were winning games. And then so that way your little scheme of the Bengals getting 2 off of Pittsburgh or something, that would, or 1 or 2, would somehow make it to where you win the division. Like, that would at least make sense. But no, you just shot yourself in the foot for no reason. It's like all the teams are sitting on the branch and the Browns just saw it off. They're going to kill themselves too, but why not? We killed the Steelers. It's like, whatever. But I personally like seeing Flacco on Cleveland. You guys know I'm partial to aging quarterbacks and guys trying to, live their glory one last time. I'm even rooting for Aaron Rodgers. How funny is that? How far have we come from the days of that when we used to be annoyed by Aaron Rodgers and root against him? I used to do hit pieces on the guy. Now, I like him. I like him on the Steelers. I like him. I like him where he's at. I think this is cool. So. Poor Addy. He says, still can't believe the best game the Browns had in 2 years was the one game I couldn't watch. And why couldn't you watch it, Addy? Yeah, Austin, with the Rodgers Breeze video, there's still a little left. Let's see what Rodgers does. Breeze is retired, but let's see if Rodgers can get the Steelers somewhere. If he can get the Steelers to the Super Bowl, I think that would kind of end it. Now, personally, as far as like talent and, did I just say that? Not talent. Ugh, sorry. Pretend like I didn't just say that. I don't know, just came out of my mouth for some reason. Um, as far as overall quarterbacking, oh, that's hard. That's hard. I think I might take Breeze actually, because I know that Aaron comes up with a lot of hangups, and uh, maybe not now because he's older and he's probably not trying to rock the boat anymore. But back then, it was way too much, and I covered this in the first episode of the Brady saga, which was, would Belichick have won as much if he had drafted Aaron Rodgers and didn't and got rid of Brady? And I covered that, showing what Aaron, the hangups of Aaron. Is he a good quarterback? Of course he is. He's a great quarterback. But the other stuff matters. And there's a lot of great quarterbacks in history that have those elements, and they're great. But those other things can stop you from winning. Dan Marino is a good example of that. Dan was very arrogant, very cocky, wasn't much of a leader. As far as that, he was kind of a diva, what we'd call a diva. For back then, he was a diva. And it just didn't translate, And he had a great coach. Some people consider Don Shula one of the best of all time. I hear a lot of people say that. But Don Shula was already a Hall of Fame coach before he ever met Dan Marino. But those other things matter. And Drew Brees had that leadership. These guys, his teammates loved him. They would absolutely do anything for him. And I just think overall, if I was starting a team, I would pick Brees over Aaron long term. They're both young, and I've got the whole career. Yeah, I think I'd take Drew. So, how come Shula couldn't win one with Marino? Well, I'm not putting it all on Dan. I'm not saying that he was the call or the reason why they couldn't win a Super Bowl or whatever. I'm just saying that attitude doesn't help, and thinking that you can throw your way out of a game every time. So you just throw the ball. We'll just throw the ball. We'll just score all these points. Sometimes you have to be willing to run the ball. Sometimes you have to be willing to take a check down. Sometimes you have to be willing to do those things instead of stat pad. And Peyton was notorious for this too. But that certainly didn't help the situation. And as far as a head coach, as far as Shula goes, we've learned that there's so much that goes into winning a Super Bowl. But, his glory days came with the Colts first, with Johnny Unitas, and one of the greatest, teams ever. And then he had the 72 Dolphins, the undefeated Dolphins, which I think is highly overrated. But still, they did it, and they had that achievement. So, he's clearly a good coach, knows what he's doing. I mean, they could have won in '84, but they just ran into freaking crazy team, Joe Montana and the 49ers. Who's going to beat them? So, yeah, Israel. Yeah, Shula. He became very petty. Very, yeah. He hated the Patriots. He hated our Patriots, like the ones we grew up watching. The dynasty. He hated it. Yeah. Sid Luckman is awesome, dude. I'm so sick of people not understanding these old quarterbacks. Sid Luckman is the man. He is freaking amazing. You guys got to go watch old highlights of Sid Luckman. You're going to like it. Trust me. Let me see here. Kind of having a little trouble. Hello? Okay. Is the microphone still working correctly, guys? There we go. Perfect. Okay. Who did Sid Luckman play for? He was the Bears quarterback. I don't know if you're talking to me, but yeah, he's amazing. So, speaking of that, I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to finish that. Like I said, it's been a rough year. I have other things I do too, not just football, but I have a political channel that I do stuff for, and do music. And music is kind of my thing. That's my main thing. And I've been working on a new album. And I've been doing that, and then in my spare time, I play some chess. So I've been doing that too. If any of you guys like to play chess, let me know. We'll play online sometime. Did he play around the time as Gale Sayers? Before. He's before Gale Sayers. Luckman is old school, very old school. Gale Sayers wasn't in nappies. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Jared. Wait, no. Don Hudson. Hudson was the '60s. Sid Luckman was before that. Sid was '40s, maybe '30s. Right? '30s or '40s. Yeah, he's even before Don Hudson. Wow, that's a long time ago. Damn. He was awesome though. Like all this stuff that they see. Did you see what Tony Romo just did? Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Holy crap. Oh my God. You know? It's Sid was doing that before. So KD likes Sammy Ball. Sammy Ball from the Redskins. Yeah, he's Jaeger Tharn just said that Hudson was 30s and 40s. Okay. I thought Hudson was later. I thought he came like right after in the next group. Yeah, you're right. Nice job. Yeah, he's right. Don Hudson came. Wow, I honestly thought that he was in the '60s there, so early '60s. Hey, he's from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Nice. 3-time NFL champion, 2-time most valuable player. Let's go to Sid Luckman. You think Sammy Ball is better than Sid Luckman? That's interesting. I mean, it's not controversial or anything. I mean, a lot of people would say that, I guess, but I just like Sid overall. I like his playing a little better. Sid Luckman won 4 NFL championships. He was the most valuable player in 1943. Led the league in passing 3 times in 43, 45, and 46. Uh, YA Tittle, yeah, that's old, old. Yeah, Katie. Yeah, I mean, no, Sammy Ball is awesome. Like I said, in the preliminary stuff I've done already, I've seen a lot of these older guys a lot more than I had before. Like I knew who they were, and I've seen some of their stuff, but I didn't really go into the depths and understand just how good they were. And when I got down to it, I started seeing the things that Sammy Ball and Sid Luckman and guys like that were doing. Haven't seen a lot of film on Y.A. Tittle, though. I'm sure there's some, but not near as much as the other guys. But um, these guys were doing things that we see in the NFL today. So every time they say this stupid crap, it's like, come on, you know? Patrick Mahomes is not doing anything that we have not seen a million times. He's not doing anything that we've not seen a quarterback who used to play baseball do. He's not doing anything that we haven't seen Brett Favre do or Randall Cunningham or anything like that. And they said the same thing about Michael Vick, and they said the same thing about Peyton Manning. Like Peyton Manning, he's doing things that we've never seen before. Like we're talking about Peyton Manning is a traditional quarterback. Like what Peyton was doing was precisely what quarterbacks were doing for like the first 50 years of the league. I mean, it was only special because when he was doing it, because the league kind of went away from the quarterback calling his own plays and doing his own thing and all that. So we kind of went more for the offensive coordinator structure. So Peyton did it the old way. And so everyone was fascinated by it and like, oh my God, so. But these guys were amazing in their own right already. So. But I don't know if you guys watched the Lions Chiefs game, but I'm very, very confused by that game. There was a drop. The ball hit the ground when Kelsey caught it. They didn't even look at it. They didn't even bother to look at it. It's clearly incomplete. They didn't give a crap. Then they called this ticky-tack foul that went for the Chiefs, of course. As far as the Jared Goff touchdown, I'm not really sure. Even if it is the correct call, let's say it's the correct call. Apparently, New York had called that in and overrode the refs. Now, if they're going to do stuff like that, they need to be doing that in all games. They need to be doing that for everybody, not just certain teams. If you look at the Detroit-Kansas City game, there was a good chance that Detroit was going to run away with that and Kansas City was going to fall to even worse record. That was a huge game. That game was important for Kansas City. Not so much Detroit, actually, but more for Kansas City because they get too far behind. It's not good. So I don't know. That was just weird. And then you guys know how momentum things change. Like once you take something away and then it kind of changes the sequence of events. But I just don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me. But and then the Chiefs fans on Twitter, they were like, "Oh, we're getting Rice back." Oh my God, they were acting like, Jerry Rice was coming back to the team. It was weird. And it's like, oh, good, he's coming back against the Raiders. Like, wow, I'm so proud of you guys. It's whatever. But yeah, they're probably going to be in the Super Bowl again because you have to blow them out. you have to do what the Bucks and what the Eagles did. You have to hammer them so hard that even nothing can bail them out. Nothing can help them. So it's like, you know. Yeah, 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 that was pretty bad. Yeah, Jared Rice shouldn't even be playing right now. He should be out for a while for that. But again, if you can play football, you can do anything you want. As long as you're not in prison at the time, if you can play, they'll bring you back. They'll bring you back after prison. Okay? It's amazing. It's one of the only jobs where you can be the biggest piece of garbage on earth, and you still get to get your job back and get your starting position back and live your dream. It's amazing. Do I know who Mark Schlereth is? Yeah, of course. He played for the Broncos. He's an offensive lineman. He claims nobody in today's game is better than John Elway, even Mahomes. He did say he'd put Tom Brady as the exception. Yes, I agree. Oh, that's an easy take though. That's an easy take. Like, of course, Mark is partial to Elway, but he knows Elway. Like, he played with him and he knows the intricate details. And Mark has been a NFL analyst for a long time, for years and years and years. And I agree with it. There is nobody playing right now that I look at them and go, this is something just completely special. And this is something amazing. I really, whatever, people are going to say whatever they want. I don't care. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is that good. I don't think he's that good independently, I should say. Again, that has nothing to do with his place in history. Okay, so I'm just saying, if I was starting a team, Mahomes would be nowhere near, anywhere close to where I would pick when I had other options and other choices. It wouldn't even be close. So I guess that kind of answers it, as far as I'm concerned. Again, doesn't take his place away in history unless you want to take away that Super Bowl against the Eagles that he won, because I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, that Super Bowl never ended. It's still, basically, it's a no contest, like a UFC fight or a boxing match, no contest. It happened, but it didn't end, so it happened, but it didn't happen. And because we don't know if that call doesn't happen. We don't know if that means the Eagles will win. We don't know. So we can't say that it would have been a loss for Patrick. But I don't think it got decided. But it's but whatever. That's me being petty, but I guess. But you have to count it when you're talking about all-time greats, and yeah, you can't take that away from him as far as legacy goes. But I just don't think he is as good as people act like he is. I just don't think so. We're going to find out, and I will be proven right. Okay? Once this chief structure shifts, once it changes, and he's kind of like the guy that's left with all new people, new coach, new coordinators, new players, new everything's different now, right? Once he goes into that phase of his career, he will not be anything that we have seen. He will not be doing anything. He won't. Patrick can still cannot read defenses. Okay. Sometimes it looks like he can. I don't know if he forgot or if he was just kind of like tricking us this whole time for the last 2 years. Maybe, I don't know. But there's times out there on the field that he looks like he has no idea what he's doing, no idea what's going on. And then there's times that he backs up and then there's just a guy schemed wide open, just completely wide open. And it's just bizarre to me. I don't even care if people say that I'm a hater or whatever. Don't give a shit. So, hey guys, we got 43 people watching. Thank you. 22 likes. If we have any Chiefs fans who think I'm wrong, you're welcome to comment, I guess. But Yegarthorn says, even if you're proven wrong, you're proven right. Yeah. I guess that's one way to look at it. I remember when Mahomes was drafted. I didn't give him that high of a grade as far as what I saw. And again, that doesn't always mean anything. I'm not saying that that's the end all be all. I'm just saying that I wasn't even that impressed by him then. Okay. So when he went to the Chiefs, he went to a great situation. He went to Alex Smith was already having that Chiefs team play pretty well, and Alex he's okay, he was serviceable, he was good enough, and then they were playing well, and you guys remember they even blew us out a few times. That was embarrassing, but he came into a good situation. Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt and some other people. But Patrick wasn't doing anything that Alex wasn't already doing. He was just doing it better. But it wasn't anything new or special. I can show you a lot of highlights of Alex doing the same thing. Very similar stuff. It's inside Andy Reid's, formula. Donovan McNabb was doing these things. Michael Vick was doing those things for a short period when he played for Andy Reid in Philadelphia. I think Mahomes is an anomaly in the sense that he's looked at as one of these all-time amazing greatest players ever, when I just don't think that's the truth. But again, that has nothing to do with legacy. You can't, that's a different thing. So like if I would, even with all me saying all this stuff, like I wouldn't choose him, I would never come close to choosing him. And I don't think that he would be very good. Of course, these are all the arguments people used to make about Tom Brady. The truth is that this is actually true, though. And I think it's true. But if I had to vote on like a legacy thing, then I would have him high up. You have to. You can't lie. You've got to be honest, right? So those are two different things, Yeah, Phil, I agree. Mahomes comes along, and all of a sudden and I've always said that they get over it, they jump. But so I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm just saying that if he was drafted anywhere else, Maybe his ceiling is Russell Wilson. That's you know that's the ceiling. But hey, Tiffany, what's up? Nice to see you back again. How you liking your Falcons right now? No, Phil. Alex was definitely not probably going to take them all the way to the Super Bowl and win it. That's for sure. But my point is that Patrick did not go into a situation that was like other people who are picked in like the top 15, top 10 quarterbacks who go into a horrible situation and have to take a bad, crappy team and completely turn it around. Of all the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, that's very rare to go into something that is just a juggernaut almost. It's like right on the cusp of being a juggernaut. And then you're the missing link, you know. Just enough to put it over the top versus coming in and the team is a complete disaster. Peyton, came into an awful Colts organization, in my opinion, an awful Colts organization. And that took some time, Brady came into a 5-11 team with a coach who was failed already in Cleveland, bounced around, and then all of a sudden, that changed around. You could say this about so many Hall of Famers that come along, but boy, he definitely he came into a good situation. So. What's up, Michael? Colts are the surprise of the year, Jared says. What do you think? What do you think about that? You guys think they're legit? I mean, Jaeger Tharn says, saw one guy claim the early 2000s Patriots would have won 3 with Dilfer. Really? With Trent Dilfer? Trent Dilfer would have made all those plays in those Super Bowls. Trent Dilfer would not have made any mistakes in the final drive to set up the field goal. Trent Dilfer would have outscored in a shootout the Carolina Panthers. Really? That's interesting. There's always somebody. The Super Bowl Trent Dilfer won was with the greatest defense of all time, the 2000 Ravens. They did the scoring, most of it. Okay, yeah, I know Trent. He had, I think he had 1 touchdown or something. I think they scored at some point, but they didn't need to. I mean, how about this? What happens if you switch? If you had the 2000 Ravens defense that stays intact all the way through Tom Brady's career in New England? How much different would it be? Or would it be different at all? Would everything stay the same? Interesting thought. I don't think they give up all those points to Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl. I don't think the 2000 Ravens would have done that. So, Nathaniel says, Dave Damashek, oh, that douchebag. Damashek disagreed by saying any era that came before 1958 should not be mentioned. Why? That's weird. And why 58? What is... That's a weird statement. But he's always been like that. He hated Tom Brady. He hated the Patriots. I think he was a Steelers fan. I'm pretty sure he's a Steelers fan. Jared, it's called the VonAllen's Empire. VonAllen's America, the channel. Yeah, Minuteman. Yeah, the 2000 Ravens probably wouldn't have even given up 17 to the 2007 Giants either. Yeah, probably wouldn't have given up that helmet catch, would they? Can you guys believe that Patrick Mahomes has been blown out in a Super Bowl twice? I rewatched that Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl from this past year, in February. That was humiliating. That was worse than the Bucks as far as just how bad they looked. How it was pathetic. It was really pathetic. Patrick, when you throw a pick six in a Super Bowl, you're supposed to make up for it. You're supposed to make a comeback. I mean, I know it's difficult. Nobody's ever done that before. Nobody human, I should say. But yeah, you're supposed to at least make up for it. You don't continue to throw picks and fumble and make bad throws and seem completely lost. And then when it's garbage time and nobody gives a crap, then you finally score. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The funny thing is, with the Bucks though, they didn't even score a touchdown. I think it was all field goals, right? I don't think they got in the end zone, did they? It was just 3 field goals. They scored 9 points, right? But yeah, this one in February, that was embarrassing, dude. But I bring this up because, again, they brought up, they had problems on the O-line. Okay. They said that in 2020. They tried to explain away. And then I see Chiefs fans trying to explain away this one, the one with the Eagles. Oh, he couldn't be protected. Isn't that football? I mean, I'm just saying, like, everybody has injuries. Basically, what the Chiefs are trying to say, and the Chiefs fans, are trying to say, is that unless everything is perfect, then we have an excuse on why we won or why we lost. So if we win, it's look how great he was without his O-line. If they lose, it's because of his O-line. Nobody, before the Bucks game, no Chiefs fan picked the Buccaneers because they were concerned for the Chiefs O-line. Not only that, they picked Patrick to be MVP. So where was this mention? Where was this concern about an offensive line problems? Oh, we'll be fine. We've got Patrick. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Okay? It's okay to feel that way. I would say the same thing about Brady. I would be like, okay, the O-line is not doing too good, but I still think Brady can overcome it. But after they get blown out, and I watch Brady get sacked a million times and throw a million picks because he's got no time, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, it's the O-line's fault. Okay. But I said Brady could overcome it. You see what I mean? But that's what they do. They did this last year with this last Super Bowl. The same thing. Oh, it's Patrick's going to be MVP. He can do anything. He's Superman. And then when he doesn't become Superman, they blame him. They blame the O-line. They blame everybody. Everybody but him. It's interesting, isn't it? So if you were that concerned, you would have your doubts going into the Super Bowl, wouldn't you? I mean, we weren't blown out, but we lost the 2007 Super Bowl. I'm not hanging that on anybody specific. I'm not going to single out, oh, stupid defense gave up 17 points to Eli Manning. Oh, really? Well, the greatest offense this league had ever seen couldn't get more than 14. So, whose fault is that? You know? I thought not only would we win, I thought we would blow them out. I thought it'd be a repeat of that Week 17 game. But without them scoring so much, because I felt like they kind of just had their night that night. But I certainly didn't see 17-14 coming. Or 17, yeah. What was the score? Yeah, 17-14. There's another one, the 2015. You guys remember that, right? How bad that situation was. We didn't even have Dante Scarnecchia anymore, so we lost our offensive line coach. The offensive line was garbage. We could have won that game easily. Not easily as in, like, it could have just tilted the right way. Look what happened there. That was in Denver. And still almost won. Oh, but the O-line. Really? Tom seemed to be taking a lot of hits, but Tom also seemed to be throwing strikes to people, man. He certainly wasn't, acting like a little bitch and telling everybody this and that. That's football, man. People get injured. There's going to be times where you don't have an O-line. There's going to be times where you don't have a defense. 2011, both Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers had no secondary, okay? They couldn't stop anybody to save their life. Well, Tom manages to get to the Super Bowl. I think Aaron got all the way to the championship game. No, he got to the divisional. But they had I think they had the number 1 seed, something like that. These excuses, whatever. I thought Patrick was Superman. I thought he could do everything. It's kind of forgivable to watch Tom Brady get sacked 100 times because of a bad O-line. And I still don't make excuses. I still don't blame O-line on anything. I don't blame them specifically for the 2015 loss. They tried to do their job. It wasn't easy. They were going up against Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. Are you kidding me? What are they supposed to do? I mean, even the main, if we had our regular guys, our regular coaching, I mean, and that may still have had the same outcome. I don't know. You just don't know. But Tom had his chances. The kicker, the idiot kicker, had his chances. He missed an extra point like a moron. So, I mean, there's all kinds of other factors involved. How does that explain the Chiefs' defense getting pounded on at the same time? You see? That your little excuse may be why the Chiefs' offense isn't scoring as much as they should. But why is the defense giving up so much? See? Just admit they got their ass kicked and just admit that Patrick played like crap. He did. He played like garbage. He was complete garbage. Both times. I've never seen such a bad quarterback performance by a guy who's a future Hall of Famer since I saw Ben Roethlisberger play in the 2005 Super Bowl against the Seahawks. I think that was one of the worst I've ever seen. It was pretty bad. I mean, usually when a quarterback has those kind of meltdowns, they're usually not Hall of Fame material, right? They're usually some guy who got there by accident or something, like a Kerry Collins of the Giants, you know. I mean, Kerry was okay. He was, you know, a pretty decent quarterback in his own right, but he was not a future Hall of Famer, somebody you expected to go out there and, you know, hang 30 up on the Baltimore Ravens. But these future Hall of Fame guys, that talent level, that ability, and the situation they're in, you expect more than what Patrick had done in both of those games. Yeah, Jared, the only thing the Chiefs defense did is they focused on Barkley. That's all they focused on. They, like everybody else, treated Jordan Love like he's an idiot. They treated Jordan Love, and I'm not some Jordan Love hero or fanboy or anything. I'm not trying to say he's my hero or anything like that. But did no one ever see what he did in the Super Bowl 2 years prior? And what he did against the Chiefs? Did I say Jordan Love? I meant Jalen Hurts. My God. Whatever. Similar name. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts. You guys know what I meant. Jalen Hurts. I've been off for a while. They underestimated Jalen Hurts, and they thought that if they just stopped Barkley, then Jalen, he can't do anything. No, that was a mistake. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Tiffany. Let me go back while I was. John Thomas Chavez says, remember when Brady nearly beat the 2015 Broncos defense and nearly went to the Super Bowl while that same defense was making Brady look like Liddell Ortiz 3? Yes, exactly. It was awful. It was awful. I mean, he was getting destroyed. Still almost won. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that at the end that throw to Gronk, man. It was just unbelievable. Phil, yeah, I'm not abandoning Drake May or anything. I'm kind of just going with the flow of what you guys are saying. I'm kind of responding to that, really. So it's not personal. I like Drake actually. If you want to talk about him, you say the hype. I'm not buying into the hype. Well, I need more before I'm like, get the pom-poms out, right? So if you guys were watching at the beginning of the segment when April was on here, back in 2001, I still didn't get on the Tom Brady train until the end of the Super Bowl, when I was like, okay, I realize now, I get it, but I didn't buy the Tom Brady hype and all that. And although I liked him, it just, I've had expectations before about players, and it just blows up. It's not time yet. I want to see him. I want to see him do some more things week in and week out. I'm not saying they have to win every game either. Okay, it's not as much about that as for me to buy into him. I want to see how he responds to different teams, better defenses, better teams, things like that. I really hope we make the playoffs. I think we will. I'd really like to see how he handles that. So he's not even a rookie, right? So it's should be going pretty well. Last year with Gerard Mayo, I told all of you guys, I said that was a pathetic hire. That was just to appease everybody and get Robert Kraft wanted everybody off his back. He wanted to save some money. It's just, he got rid of Belichick. I don't even know the details of getting rid of Belichick, or if he had to keep paying Bill. Not sure if they just, they never, I don't think we ever got any information about that. But I know Robert Kraft was kind of like, whatever. So I think he paid Gerard Mayo like peanuts compared to a lot of other head coaches. And then he brought in Vrabel, He's probably still paying Mayo, by the way. But you brought in Mike Vrabel's a good coach. He's not some scrub that you brought in. So, of course, they're going to play pretty good, So let's see if Drake is, a great player in his own right, and let's just wait before we start buying the jerseys and all that. So that's my only thing. So I like him. I think he's great. He's got me excited. I look forward to Patriots games every week to see how he's going to play. And I really hope that he is the future. I really hope that he is our next guy. Now, one thing that it actually makes me feel better about Drake is that Tom did not like Cam and Mac Jones. And I'm not saying he hated them or nothing like that, okay? But he just did not seem too fond of either of them. And he likes Drake. He really does. So there's something there. There's something there. Yep, Minutemen, thank you for giving me credit. I did say that Gerard Mayo would be fired at the end of the year. And there it is. So, and the opportunity came to get Vrabel, and there we go. I don't know if you'd call this hype or not, but I do believe that we have the ability right now, I think we are good enough to win a playoff game, first of all. And then anything after that would be gravy, of course. Of course, I want to win a Super Bowl. It'd be great to get number 7, be the first team to get 7. But I'm not going that way. I'm not becoming a delusional idiot. But right now, as it stands, I do believe that they are good enough to win a playoff game, and get down that road. And then next year, who knows what happens? But I think they're already there. And that may sound like, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal coming from where we were and what we were, and everything that's transpired, and losing Brady and then losing Belichick, even though he Sucked at the end there. But still, that's a big transformation. I think getting a playoff game or winning a playoff game would be a great achievement. I think it would be really cool. But I think that we are capable of doing that right now, right this second. I think they're already at that point. As far as beating someone like a big team in like an AFC Championship or something like that, not quite. Not quite. So there are some things. Some trades need to happen. I think it'd be nice to, and then I'll be happy. So we'll see. Yeah, Papa Pumpkin says Pat still need to shore up their O-line and get a stud wide receiver. So there you go. We could, trade deadline before the trade deadline. Maybe we can get something going there. I don't know how Vrabel feels about that kind of thing. I don't know if he wants to do the Belichick crap or not, but we'll see. Vrabel list here, nice. Do I think they'll win the division? Actually, as of right now, I do. Right now, I do. I think Buffalo is falling apart. I really do. I think something's wrong there. Man, what a waste. Their window might be over. I don't know. Maybe I'm just angry because they disappoint me so much. Because I root for them sometimes, and I like Josh Allen, and I think he's an amazing quarterback. But I don't know, man. Something is this Patriots team, man. They're special. They're feeling it. I mean, they like Vrabel, but they respect him, and he's got them playing, dude. I don't know. I just think it's going to be fun. So, but I don't think we even have to win the division anyway to get a playoff spot. So it'll be okay. What do you guys think? About either, like, do you think the Patriots are capable of winning the division, and do you think the Bills are kind of falling apart? So, McDaniel, you want to talk about McDaniel? Okay, that dude said this on Twitter. Mike McDaniel, that guy, he is one or two more losses away from going on a serial killing spree of some hookers or strippers or something. Like, this guy is weird, and it's not even a quirky weird, like a funny or interesting weird. He is just weird, like creepy weird, like Ted Bundy weird, right? So I remember when he was hired in Miami, I used to make fun of him, kind of in that sense, right? I said, this guy is just strange. But at first I just thought he was quirky and whatever, a little odd. That's okay to be odd. But now I think that this dude he's gone down the other path, the creepy, like, I'm going to go home and put on my mom's clothing, rub myself in peanut butter, let the dog lick it off, that kind of thing, right? That he seems to be that kind of dude. So, I don't know. Oh, that's pretty good, Up Courage. Mick Holmes to H.H. Holmes. Yeah, that's good. You guys get that reference? Oh my God, the Jets. You think to go 0-17? That would be the record. That would be the record. So, if it's going to happen to a team, it needs to happen to the Jets, right? So, yeah, Tiffany's right. Maybe I had the wrong Ted. Maybe he actually looks like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Maybe that's the Ted that he's more like. So, okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what we're going to be doing going forward. Um, so I have some plans for the show. So I want to start broadcasting this VAS live show on a weekday. I do not want to do it anymore on weekend like we used to do. Like I know we did Saturdays. Sometimes I would do Fridays. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I would prefer tonight or Wednesday. I like Wednesday night because it's before the Thursday night game. But Thursday could work too, I guess. But it would be during the game, and I don't know if that would work. But Tuesdays are possible. But anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll kind of see what works and what's best. So right now, Wednesday seems to be kind of cool because it's right in the middle. It's right after the everything ends, and we get the injury reports, find out who's going to be playing and everything, and it's right before Thursday. So it should work out fine. Then we'll be doing some post-game shows. Those are short shows, or no longer than an hour, but they would be like a post-game show after a primetime game. So Patriots, or even other events like even other big teams, big games that were awesome. Then we'll have like an after show like we used to do. So yeah, Jared, exactly. So stream during the game and then do a post-game show for about 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. For the big games, for the ones that not every single game. That's just, there's no point in doing that. But yeah. And then there would be another day that I would like, and not yet, but sometime in the future, I'd like to stream some chess. So I'd like to do that. So basically, this would be an off day. It'd be like a random day. It wouldn't have nothing to do with our normal stuff, where I would be playing chess competitively, actually, online. But we'll talk football. We can talk anything, but we can talk football while I'm playing. I'd like to do that too. And so there's a lot of stuff I want to do. I really want to get back into this and get this going. I would like to do some more videos. Now that with the Patrick thing, since the last time we did, I've done videos like this. We've got the Patrick thing getting more and more. He's got 3 Super Bowls now, so it's become more of a thing now. So it'd be nice to kind of maybe do a comparison to see where he's at compared to some of the greatest ever. Yeah, Jared, and I'll be streaming on the VonAllen's America as well. Again, those are different days, so won't have anything to do with this. It won't interfere with this. So, but that's my plan, and thank you, Gord King. He just let's see. Did I miss anything for right now? I think this is a pretty good comeback show. Almost 2 hours. We're here. You guys, could I get a few more likes from you? It's at 44 viewers, 26 likes. That just really helps the channel out. It lets the algorithm know we're back and we're doing things again, and that'd be awesome. So Israel says, report, the NFL is exploring the option of adding active players who meet its criteria to the NFL Hall of Fame. This would make Patrick Mahomes the fastest player to enter the Hall of Fame in NFL history. That can't be real. That can't be real. It's got to be a joke. Maybe it's sarcasm. No. If it was real, I mean, of course, would you be surprised that they'd try to do that for Mahomes of all people? But the Hall of Fame is a joke anyway. It doesn't matter anymore. Really, all the Hall of Fame is now is for us to reference when we're talking about all-time greats, and you just reference them by, if you want to put it in a category to something, you say, oh, they're a Hall of Famer or future Hall of Famer. That just means that they're the elite of the elite. But as far as bragging about it or anything like that, if you're Tom Brady and you're walking around, you don't say, I'm a Hall of Famer, because, I mean, Eli Manning is going to be a Hall of Famer. So what does that mean? What does that mean to Tom? You know? They're basically saying that Eli Manning is the same quarterback as Tom and Joe Montana. Really? It's idiotic. So it just doesn't mean anything anymore. They just put Sterling Sharp in there. That was a participation trophy. That was Shannon Sharp lobbying for him for so long. That was Sterling being a part of the NFL Network family for so long. They did that for the NFL 100 special, where they put Jimmy Johnson in, and Bill Cowher. So it's just like, hey, let's just throw anybody in here now. Let's just bring them all in. They put Megatron in on the first ballot. Although Megatron is one of the best receivers I've ever seen play, but he didn't do enough to be first ballot. I think first ballot is something special. It's something that you really have to work for. But my view of the Hall of Fame is very, very tough to get into. There are a lot of people that would not be in it if it was up to me. If you want to talk about quarterbacks, Kurt Warner, who I love, I'm a massive fan, would not be in. Okay, there'd be so many people I wouldn't put in the Hall of Fame if it were up to me. I'd remove a lot of the people from the old days that just got in because they didn't have anybody else to put in it. You know, if you take a look with some of those people. And then there are these dynasties that happened where some players got put in just because they were part of a dynasty and they kind of had a name at the time, but they really, when you look at them, they were not above their peers so much that they really, deserved it. But no, when you put somebody in the Hall of Fame, this is how I see it. When you put a quarterback in the Hall of Fame, you are saying there's no tier list in the Hall, okay? Everybody's equal. So you're saying, when you put a quarterback in there, you're saying that this quarterback is on par for his generation with Brady, with Montana, with Peyton, with those guys, right? When you put a coach in there, you're saying they're on par with Bill Walsh and Don Shula and guys like that, right? Joe Gibbs. Yeah, I mean, and when you put it like that, it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of like, okay. Now they're trying to put all kinds of receivers in that just because they were kind of known, and that they were popular at one time or something. Oh, let's throw them in there. Guys, a lot of people are going to get a lot more yards now, a lot more stats. Game is more opened. The schedule now has an extra game. This is just the nature of it, okay? It's how it works. Like the guys we grew up watching, they benefited from the changes, and they benefited from the 16 games versus the 14 games that the old guys used to play. So it's just how it is. And You have to take that in consideration. When you are measuring a Hall of Famer, it's not the bulk stats that really matter. It's what were you above your peers at the time? How great were you above everyone else in your time period? Not how great you are compared to somebody from a different era. So I don't care. Do you guys have any idea how many quarterbacks playing right now are all going to be like in the top whatever of yards thrown career-wise if they just don't get injured? I mean, think about some average mediocre quarterbacks that we see playing right now who in 20 years or 15 years, we may see them in the top 20 for yards. And it's like, the hell? It's just how it works. It doesn't, the context of those yards means something. When you say Tom Brady has the most yards in NFL history, that matters. Okay? Why does it matter? Because those yards produced 7 Super Bowl victories. But having the number one most yards thrown with nothing to show for it, well, what difference does it make? Who gives a crap, right? It doesn't mean anything. It has no value. You can say that Phillip Rivers is in top whatever, most yards. He played forever. Guy never got injured. He was always playing. Of course he's got a lot of yards. Of course he got a lot of stats. But did anything he did, all those things he did they ever translate to anything that mattered? But they're going to put him in the Hall. It's yeah, Phil, you mentioned Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner's story and how good he was at his peak is unreal. But I'm saying that's how hard I would like it to be in the Hall of Fame. But I'm not going to argue that he shouldn't be in it the way it is. Definitely, if this is how we're doing things, then Kurt Warner is easily a Hall of Famer. I'm saying I don't think there should be very few people in there at all. Like I'm saying maybe 10, maybe 12, at the most should be in there for quarterbacks. I want it really, really tight, I wouldn't put Jim Kelly in there. Jim Kelly, dude lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I don't think so. You didn't get one? You didn't get one, and you want me to put you in the Hall of Fame? You get one, and then I'll give you credit for the Super Bowl appearances. Okay? I will. If you have a Super Bowl, I will give you credit for getting back or having other, because then I get it. Okay? But you don't have one? You went 4 times and you don't have one? Not putting you in the Hall of Fame, dude. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Okay? Warren Moon. You guys know that's my favorite quarterback growing up. Okay? I absolutely loved Warren Moon. No. He had some amazing teams, those Oilers teams, and they choked. They choked all the time. They had so many chances, so many great players, so many opportunities. And no, just it never happened. It's harsh, I know. It's harsh. But if I had my way, getting into the Hall of Fame would be so crazy difficult that when you were inducted, it was a massive, it's a massive, massive deal. I'm saying 20,000, 30,000 people will show up to watch you get inducted because it's that hard. It's that big of a deal. Nobody cares anymore. They're putting in 5 to 7, 8 guys every year. Nobody gives a shit. Every year they show the Super Bowl, they say, oh, we have our Hall of Fame class of blah, blah, blah here at the stadium. And they're standing there at the end of the end zone, smiling and waving at the crowd. Nobody gives a crap. And half the people in the stadium couldn't actually tell you who each of all those guys were. It's like, Hall of Fame? Really? I mean, if you hadn't made it by now, why are you here now? I mean, it's ridiculous. If you can't make it the first time, maybe you shouldn't be in it. I think that these are hard. I get it. This is very difficult. It's very, very hardcore to say these things about some great players that we love. But I'm just being honest. I think getting a Hall of Fame bust should be something that is just, it seems almost unreachable. It means that you are the GOAT of GOAT. It's the Hall of, you had your day. You had your day, but it's not the Hall of, I was elite the entire time. I buried the competition. When I went out there, everyone feared me. They were afraid to play me. Teams schemed for me. If you can't say that for your whole career, if you weren't killing people, if you weren't winning, if you weren't doing all those things, do you deserve to be immortalized in the Hall of Fame? Do you deserve a statue? I don't know. I don't think so. It may be called the Hall of Fame, but they treat it as the Hall of Greatness. And that's the problem with that, right? Because it's not Hall of Fame either. If it was Hall of Fame, well, that would be a whole different issue, because that would be just fame. Well, there's a lot of players who were famous, but not particularly great. I mean, everybody knows Odell Beckham Jr., okay? He's very famous. Even people who don't watch football knows that who he is. You're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame, but you would if it was based off of fame, right? So it's implied that it's, and everyone, we all go with the idea that it's greatness, right? So that's what it's for, or it's what it's supposed to be. But now it's just nonsense. Now they do this thing where they follow them, and then they, it's just, they get their reaction and everything. Half the time the players, I don't know. I just don't think the NFL doesn't care if it means something or not. They have this production that they put on, and then they induct whoever they. Honestly, if it was legit and had real, serious, rules and regulations how you get in, and criteria of how to get in, then we'd have some years where we have one person getting in. There may be a year where nobody gets in, if we were being truthful, if we were being honest. But how do they somehow find 5 to 8 guys every season? I mean, they're digging up dudes, okay, like dead dudes. They're bringing up dead guys, from the 60s and 70s, having their grandchildren and great grandchildren accepting the trophy, accepting the honor. It's like, really? I mean, this dude retired before I was born, and he couldn't get in, and now what is that? Or these stupid fans who are like, oh, so-and-so needs to get in because of XYZ. Well, my God. It's ridiculous. All right. Yeah, exactly, Phil. When Drew Pearson was lobbying on TV, and he cried, and then he got in. No, I don't care. I know, Cowboys fans. I know. I get it. Okay? No. Russell Wilson? No. The Minuteman just said something crazy. He said that Jim Kelly's better than Dan Marino. It's a good strategy, Minuteman. Let's see how it works out for you. But you guys understand what I'm saying, right? It's all right. Thank you guys for being here tonight. It's a weeknight. I know a lot of people have to get up and you're in a different time zone than me. Thank you for being here. I'm glad to be back. Happy to be back. It's great seeing you guys again. Thank you for showing up for the show back. Thank you, April, for coming on, and really appreciate that. And well, I guess I'll see you guys this weekend, right? So thank you so much. And enjoy what's probably going to be some good football, and enjoy the Patriots beating the Browns, or they better beat the Browns. All right. Bye, guys.
VonAllen Sports.
This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching VonAllen Sports. Real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. VonAllen Sports, let's go!
VonAllen Sports. VonAllen Sports.
This is the man with the most badass name in sports, the Pharaoh, the Egyptian god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on behalf of my man VonAllen, we want to thank you for your support. Let's fucking go.
VonAllen Sports.